A very good evening to everybody watching. Thank you for joining us tonight on the evening review. My name is Taiwan Jabela. Tonight on the platform, we are joined by Brian Riruako. He is a descendant of the Ovaherero genocide victims, and he is here to share his perspectives on the current status of reparation and everything that is related to the genocide that was committed in Namibia by Imperial Germany. Thank you very much, Brian, for making time. It's a pleasure. I think first and foremost, I think for those who do not know, you are a son of former Paramount Chief of the late Paramount Chief, Mr. Riruako. What is the first name again? Kwaima, yeah. So sorry. Yeah, Kwaima Riruako. And who was actually the person who tabled the motion in Parliament, I think in 2006 already, demanding that something be set in motion as far as the reparations are concerned. To this day, nothing of the sort has transpired. What do you think of, I mean, your father is watching from there. What do you think is his current state of mind when he's watching what is happening on the ground and these long delays?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. I think the first part would be that he would be sad that the Namibian people are really not doing the great job that he has put in place. Yeah. And before independence, he has already started this, thing before independence that the Germans one day they will pay. It was already around 1986 there, around about, whereby he started saying, but if when Jewish are being paid the Holocaust and whatever, why not us? Since he was a student in the USA, so obviously he could interact with his other fellow students at the New York University there. So whereby they could say, no, but you guys are not paid, but why us as, you guys are paid, but we as blacks are not paid, why? And then when it came to now, where now we are looking at it, I would want to thank you in first the former president, be it from Tate Kuhamba, because really it came in his era, whereby it was one of the first motions that was put in through the House, whereby it was not whereby objected. Other the days that whereby when a motion came into the House brought by an opposition, it was full-fledged. They could say no. But on this one, particularly, they felt that it's really a thing which is touching all the Namibians, not per se the heroes and numbers alone, but all the Namibians. So I think also the former president, the late Heinkoop, even he was the one who really convinced my dad to really bring the thing to the National Assembly so that they can fight it from there. And they could even understand that the moment they are fighting from there, then it will be better for them to have a better, fight. But after that, going further, you start now seeing the communities themselves fighting amongst themselves now to be who died, who didn't die. And those things are petty issues. First, I think it must be that we must move in the direction of saying, let's get the things first, the ball rolling, which the motion was demanding. The motion was just demanding that let the descendant of those people negotiate with the Germans, and they let the Germans give reparation, and then obviously the apology, what they wanted. But obviously now, as you know, be as it might be, already people are fighting over the day, of Genocide Remembrance Day. That is already, in itself, already showing to the Germans that you guys are not serious. You are fighting amongst yourselves, then you expect us to pay you. Who are we going to pay if you yourself you are fighting? That is one. And I think also, but also the government in itself, if it had a genuine heart, it would have also listened to the wisdom of others like the late Gawiro, that let's bring all these people together. Let's put them under one roof. Let's have a proper dialogue. Because I think, in a way, this thing was done haphazardly in terms of how to put up a proper negotiation team on behalf of the people. You might know, remember the late Kawenambo would start questioning now, who would question the lead negotiator. Not even the Gawiro, but the guys who are in the technical, who were they? He would question them, and you would also find that, are these people genuine when they are negotiating on the other side? That are they going to bring something? Because me as a victim, I think and I feel that I would bring in the history of saying, this is where I died, be it from the Mboyo Ndimba or Hamakari battles or Kanjira battles. I would narrate through that. So a German would now start feeling, no, this guy that I'm negotiating with is a person really who feels the pain of that. But now currently, and I'm of the feeling also that one of the things that I'm feeling or I'm seeing is that I get the feeling that the Germans are the ones setting the agenda for us. It's not us putting the agenda or putting it together, because you cannot tell me you have been paying Holocaust survivors and their families close to 87 billion, which was calculated up to now 2022. But you have to, in your right mind, you are saying you are going to pay the Hereros Hereros and Namas 1.1 billion over a period of 30 years. What is that? That's a mockery to us as our own.
Yeah.
And I think that in itself, at times also, I wonder that the Germans who are here in Namibia, do they really feel that the German imperialists did something wrong or not?
Why do you have that question specifically for them? They would say that they had nothing to do with it and everything like that.
No, but if you are saying so, they had nothing to do with that. They are the ones benefiting from the land that their forefathers drove the Hereros off them. If you go to Hamagari today, that's where my own grandmother, my father's mother was born. But I don't have access to Hamagari. So, and the guy from Hamagari doesn't, even the day when we commemorated the 2004, the Remembrance Day of the 100 years, we had to go and ask permission. Imagine, ask permission to
who's in charge of Hamagari now?
Hamagari,
who's predominantly the...
It's a German farmer who's there, and who had even the audacity to say, no, you must ask permission to me, because even you are commemorating this day, and he only allowed only a few chiefs to go to that particular site. But I think that's why I'm saying also the Germans descendant or the Germans in Namibia must also come to the party, because you see it in Europe, whereby the Germans, even who are in Germany, are saying we did something wrong. They are still saying they are still up to now apologizing for the apologies. But in Namibia, you don't find it. They start. Some of them, there was a clip running around whereby they are saying, what do they want the money for, or what do they want the land for? The trauma, the psychological, whatever. I think it's just so many of it.
Yeah, I get it. The subject around the construction of the negotiation team has always been a cause of consternation. Some people saying it was done without proper consultation and whatnot. But now, because like you mentioned earlier, these divisions among the affected communities are also not helping the situation. Because if the communities were a united front, because now this faction says, no, we don't agree to the inclusion of that guy, then the other faction supports the inclusion of that person. Now, which faction are you going to listen to?
I think that is where you asked me how would my dad, feel about it, and what would he say? He would be sad, as I said.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I liked is charisma. He would, when the motion was brought to the house, and I liked it when it was brought to the house, because, mind you, that time the late Tio Ben Guriap was the speaker. So obviously you had to negotiate with these people from SWAPO side just to bring them together and say, we are bringing a motion like this, and we don't want to say, no, it's only Hereros and Namas who died. Let's do it first and let it pass the hurdle, and then after that maybe we can start fighting. And I think that is where now us as Namibians, or as us who are the descendant of that, must also come to the realization of saying, guys, let's come together. Let's make sure that from now on to the where we want it. Number one, let's have a dialogue. That's what I'm saying. Let's have a dialogue first and say, fine, you cannot have everything. You cannot have the cake and eat it. So obviously we would have to say, fine, Toivo and others would at least compromise. The compromise has to be there. You cannot have everything. They must compromise on those sections. But what I'm appealing is that for those descendants who are now part of the technical team, must be of such nature that they would understand, be it international law, be it whatever, but at least they would understand where are these people coming from. Because seriously, the trauma that has hit, people think that this is just a joke, but then when you start, when you go to Okahanja, people have been commemorating Okahanja, the returns of Samuel Maharero from Chief Samuel Maharero from Botswana since 1923. So obviously these people were keeping in mind that, well, how did Samuel Maharero end up in Botswana? It's because of the genocide that they were driven there. So it is that we have now to come to the table and say, let us now, us from my perspective as number one, as a hero for that matter, and as a son of the late chief, I would also want to see, let's this negotiation come into, because now when we are negotiating with Germany also look at us and say, if you don't negotiate the way that we want, we will not give you the money. But now also for the Germans to say, that's why I said they set the tone. And that's why at times also we start also saying, these guys, even the guys who are there, who are negotiating on our behalf, are saying, let's agree first on this one, and then maybe when we open a door, they can come in. You don't do that.
Yeah. Before we go for a break, Brian, the quantum also is another thing also. I mean, there's so many things that are pending, but the quantum is also another aspect that people are saying, no, it's a joke, it's an insult, and all that. And then you have those that are saying, look, but there's really no price to human life. You can't say this is the correct price, and it's more a symbolic thing than anything else, that as long as they have admitted and they have advanced that payment, then it's a victory for Namibia, a small country up against a powerhouse like Germany. But your own take on that?
To tell you the truth, you can't say a quantum is not enough while they have paid the Jewish. They are paying the Jewish up to now, which is the thing that I just said is more than 80 billion euros that they have been paid. That's euros, 80. As they want to give us only 1.1 euros over a period of 30 years. Now that's the joke now. Yeah. The quantum, to me, there are so many things. You cannot say human life only, because in that motion said the land that I lost, the restoration of me as being human. Yeah. So to me, it's just pure racism to say, no, let's say if a German comes here and says, no, we cannot pay you so much money, but a German can spend more than 30 billion euros on a war in Ukraine, and then he wants to give me 1.1 billion over a period of 30 years. Yeah. It doesn't hold. You cannot tell me that. And that's the sad reality that at times Western countries look at us as saying, we are nothing. But today they are the ones running here to Namibia about the green hydrogen, whatever. But you will always need us one way or another. We need each other, because in this country, the world turns around.
Yeah, absolutely. We go for a very short break and return with Brian Riruako. We continue the conversation with Brian Riruako on the evening review. Now, Brian, the other issue is, of course, I mean, what is it that, and I've put this question to a lot of my guests who come to the platform to say, in your view, what is the end game here? What is that thing that will say, okay, now everything is okay, you owe us nothing anymore going forward, we are satisfied, let's move on?
No, I think now currently the end game will be very good, because number one, the current president, Her Excellency President Nani Daitwa, was the first person who took this letter to the Germans, which she was sent by Tate Kuhamba. So obviously the end game, I would pray that now currently, that since now she is the president, she would play that role in saying, please, let's first have a dialogue among the affected community. Number one, we got the genocide day. Number two, let's sit around the table. When we are going to the Germans, even now when they are trying to come and give an apology, to who are they going to give an apology while we are divided? So I think that is one of the end game that we have to be there. Let's come together. Let's fight among ourselves. Let's get the right agreement and say, fine, this is the technical team that we would want to go forward. Obviously, you cannot backtrack the negotiations, but you can add on the negotiations now that now this is what we want. So the end game would be if they agree on the apology, if they pay us the way that they are doing it with the World Jewish Council, whereby one, they paid individual descendants of these people. Because now, mind you, if you are going to pay 200,000 or 1 million Jewish people, now you are going to pay less than that, which is not even the quantum that you want to say. Now it will be less than that. I would be satisfied with that. With the development that they are trying to bring to me, it doesn't hold water, because still Germany will be the one now to come and consult. Germany will be the one now trying to say, we are the ones going to say which contractor, which whatever. That's not payment. That's now trying to, it's like you are giving me something that it's like, it's a how do you say? It's a stocking liquor. You see, to me, no.
Lollipop.
Lollipop, yeah. So that I would not agree. I would only agree, number one, with the apology, there's the trauma that they've caused us, that they can give us more psychologists and whatever to be with this, all of us, pay us directly, not to pay us in between. Number two, for schools, I would want the Namibian government also itself to start now teaching genocide in Namibian schools.
Yeah.
Mind you, in the 1990s, would know.
Sorry about that. Yeah. In the 1990s.
Yeah. Rama. I thought I put it. But anyway.
Yeah.
During the 1990s,
Yeah.
we were taught all the history of Namibia, all the wars of Namibia. I tell you now, to you go to a school, even your kid now, what wars are they? Even we were taught about the Portuguese Mandume and Empire War. They are not there anymore. We are only taught from 1966 up to now. But now with Pipumbua, Shulongo and others, those wars we are not taught. We are only taught now at UNAM. So some of us who had maybe history and whatever. But for the school, if you teach a child from he or she would remember that what he or she has been taught.
Yeah.
So that they carry the message, and they can say, when they're even in the world around there, they would say, there was genocide in Namibia, and I would not want it to be repeated in Namibia. Because if some of us had the opportunity to go to Rwanda, you would not want to see genocide in any country.
Yeah.
The trauma of it, my friend, you wouldn't. So I would want to pray to people in Namibia. Namibia is a very peaceful country, but seriously, Germany must also, either the Germans here in Namibia must also start pushing the Germans up there in Berlin to say, let's do what the correct thing. Let us pay these guys the way we paid the Jewish, the way we have done it with them, and that's all. That will be the end game for me.
That will be the end game. And then, I mean, you have seen sentiments in places like South Africa about this right-wing Afrikaners who are saying, look, the land was not really owned by anyone. If anything, they say, that might be the Khoisan. And therefore, apparently the blacks came from the central parts of Africa. Of course, they might have arrived here first, but then the whites also came from Europe. They also came here. It was always about the battle. Whoever wins. And therefore, you don't really have a legitimate claim to ownership of land. What do you say to that?
I think that's one of the biggest jokes that you can ever get. Because number one, I didn't go here to Europe to go and grab land.
Yeah.
I was on the African continent, wavering around in the African continent. So that argument of white settlers claiming that we the Khoisans were here, but we did live among the Khoisans and we didn't drive them off their land.
Yeah.
So that one doesn't hold water. Even now, recently, they want to say the current American president is saying genocide with these recently guys who went to America. We know that there's no genocide like that. So, but anyway, to me, it doesn't say I was still on the African continent. I was still roaming because we are by nature we are pastorals. We move around. So that one doesn't hold water. That saying we cannot claim a legitimate. The questions were here. Did we chase the questions? If you go today to Western Cape or to Northern Cape, you will still find them there where they originate from. So to me, it doesn't hold water still. I think and I believe with people with that notion. People who have a sinister agenda behind still.
Yeah.
Because if you had a pure agenda, you can't come with those kind of analogies and then say, no, because of that is that. No.
Yeah.
Just if you are genuine, say, no, we did you harm, let's pay you, that's all.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you alluded to of saying we are a small country, David was a very young man. But he brought down Goliath, and that's how we are going to do it. Either it's going to take long, it will do it. Yeah. Because it took my father so many years to get even to the senses of these people. Now everybody is saying, no, I also died. Somebody even from Namutani is saying, oh no, I also died now. You see what I'm saying? So don't worry, with time, they will come. But that's why I said that with the wisdom that we have in our president, I think and pray that now she will make sure that there's a proper dialogue. Now she will make sure that she will bring people with the know-how, because I know her from when she's a tough negotiator, because I've been with her at climate change meetings. So she is not a two-way person. She would see, we are not negotiating in good faith. Let's go beyond that. So I think this is our chance, when she's currently here, the president. And I'm also calling and appealing to the Namas descendant and the Herero descendant. Let's smoke the peace pipe. Let's come together. Let's make sure that we do the right thing and get the right quantum. And I say the right quantum will always calculate it one way or another. If we don't know how to calculate it, we will go to the Jewish and say, please do it the way that you calculate it, then we will get it. So
share with us your formula.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. In closing, you've been speaking a lot about your father. You've spoken about the divisions within the Ovaherero community. And part of that is that your father said, passing, I think, 2014? Yeah. It has also led to divisions within the community as to who should be his replacement. There are two men now who are both claiming to be paramount chiefs of Ovaherero after paramount chief Rukoro passed away. As a family, do you guys, how do you view these things? Who should replace your father or subsequently Mr. Rukoro?
I think we should replace was that we could have just followed the procedures which is there. Yeah. Whereby the chief council sits, and then after that names comes up, and then it proceeds, because that's how it came up with Rukoro, the chief council set. Now, in this time of now, whereby Hode and Kashiwa are fighting, is because the chief council didn't sit. It was during COVID. Yeah. So people would now send each other WhatsApp group now and say, no, Toivo, Brian, and whoever, we form a committee of 7. It was based on the WhatsApp group. Now they decided, no, we are going to choose whoever. Yeah. Instead of saying, let's go, because you don't, traditions thing, you don't do it, now we are in the new era, we are doing, no. Yeah. But minded you, let the case come and go. And I think and pray that it will come to an end. Yeah. That Kapo will call a chief council. After calling this chief council, the right host will be elected and be given the chance. As for now, I cannot say who or there, because at the end of the day now would be saying, no, I'm with Hode, I'm with Kapo in terms of the right procedure. That's all. Yeah. Kapo is still the chairperson. Let Kapo call the chief council and let the best man be elected from there. As for now, people will just, be divided, and the division will not help us with the case that we are trying to achieve now. Yeah. So I think that is the moment that we are saying, let's let Kapo, through his wisdom, with his whole chief council, bring the chief council together, call the people, and then elect the person to be the chief of the Hero people.
Is Brian Riruako's name gonna be thrown in the hat? It's a
No.
heir apparent.
No. Heir apparent for now. Let those ones. When my father's head was thrown in the head, it was because of they were united then.
Yeah.
And then it was because we were having one vision, which was to get the independence of Namibia and also to move in that direction to develop Namibia. Now, if you want to throw your name there, time will tell. But let's wait and see. Time will tell. But as for now, I will reserve that answer for later.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother.
Agweba.
Sure. Okay. That's Brian Riruako. He is a descendant of the Ovaherero genocide victims, sharing his perspectives on issues like reparation, apology, and everything, the pains that has emerged out of that very dark chapter of our country. Thank you for watching.